Robin Savage, we're recording episode 22.
Oh, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22.
Oh, I feel like that's a Taylor Swift reference.
Taylor Swift?
Who?
Whom do you speak of?
Well, forget all that, because this is the Christmas episode, so ho, ho, ho.
You slut. No, I don't know. Ho, ho, ho to you, too.
Who are you calling a hoe? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody else, this is the latest episode of
Scooch Ovaries!
Scooch over.
Hey, can you scooch over?
You want me to scooch over?
Just a little bit. Scooch.
Scooch?
Scooch.
Scooch. Scooch Ovaries! I don't think we would be remiss in saying that when we celebrate Christmas, we celebrate Tina and Amy. Am I correct?
We celebrate Tina and Amy 365 days out of the year.
We do, but I feel like this Christmas should be more about them because I feel like they've been kind of busy and we haven't seen them enough because of all the other noise.
I know. I sometimes I watch Amy Poehler. She's into a lot of TikToks, and I'm not on TikTok a lot, but they're just very silly and they're worth seeing.
Our girls, I don't know. They make my heart happy.
I do too. They make mine happy as well too. I feel like they're kind of the same age as us, and they're way more successful. But they have the same kind of humor, and they've inspired me these many years.
I'm much older than both of them, but one of them's a blonde and one of them's a brunette. I don't know.
So it's just like us.
Just like us. And here's a T-shirt from my trip that I took in January to Atlanta to go see the Restless Leg Tour, which was kind of like going to the promised land for me, Mecca.
Yeah, I don't know if we've discussed it before. Was it good? Did you have a great time?
That was all right. Are you kidding me? I don't think we've discussed it on the show.
Maybe not.
I may have discussed it on Contrary Gardens. Robin, I got to tell you, it was everything I hoped and dreamed it would be, and I worked really, really hard to stay in the moment.
That's good.
Yeah, I don't know if you know me, but I can tend to get distracted or worry about the next thing.
I think that's a very human quality. I think a lot of people are like that.
They are. They are like that because sometimes being in the moment is the most challenging because I was alone. I was in Atlanta. I parked the car at the hotel, and the theater was across the street. Mm-hmm. I didn't have to worry about getting in my car. I didn't have to worry about anything but crossing the street to get back to the hotel.
Oh. And was that in the back of your mind the whole time?
Yeah, I was like, I don't have to worry. I can just go across the street and I'll be fine. Because I think when I'm at things, I'm like, where's my car? Is the parking going to be okay? Am I going to be able to get out? Because when we were young, our family members would take us to events like baseball games or concerts, and we never got to see a ninth inning or an encore because we got to get to the fucking car so we can beat the fucking traffic. Because why should there be any joy in life when you have to think about how you got to fucking leave?
Yeah.
And then when we got older, me and Moggy would go to Jones Beach to concerts, and we'd sit for an hour and a half, 2 hours in a parking lot and say, "Oh, I see what they were doing there."
My dad made sense now.
Yeah, but I really wanted to see the Beach Boys sing, that song one more time.
Yeah.
It made sense. And it wasn't my dad, it was my sister Kathy.
Oh, okay. I thought it was your father. That's like a very dad thing to do. Like, yeah, we're leaving, guys.
Yeah, no, he would be fine with staying. We didn't go to a lot of things. They had done that with the older kids more.
Okay.
We did some, but when we did them, it was usually with older siblings or with boyfriends.
Okay, so the in a big family, the parents raise the older children, then the older children raise the younger children?
Yeah, which no one raised us. I'm kidding. That's why we're so feral. No. Yeah, kind of that's what happens also when you're talking about a 14-year-old boy, a 13-year-old boy, a 10-year-old girl, and a 7-year-old girl. And then, hey, let's have 2 babies.
Oh, that is a huge, yeah.
It was a big one.
Yeah.
And then I think you remember me telling you the story of what my sister Jeannie did. Because she was super jealous and didn't want us to be around and was kind of like running around like, what do you mean I'm not going to be the baby anymore? What's this?
Yeah.
What's this?
Especially at 7, because you're
7.
really locked into who you are then.
So we were born and she walked around to the neighbors and said, the babies didn't make it.
I've never heard that story.
Oh, I've told it to other people and they love that. It's funny because it's a kid just being a dick.
Did the neighbors believe her, or did they know full well the
I
babies
don't know.
were fine?
No one really tells the whole version of that story because it's horrifying. But it was made pretty clear that Jeannie didn't want us around. And Margaret was dropped on her head on concrete outside. And I bounced off a lot of shit. Apparently, I had like some convulsions at some point.
Oh.
I don't know. They never got that checked, but it all worked out in the end. I'm fine.
Walk it off, kid. You'll be okay.
Yeah. But I saw Tina Fey and Amy Poehler. I found it. I came back.
Yeah.
And it was great. And I was going to try to go with someone like you or someone else. Maybe I was going to try. And I thought, fuck it, I'm just doing it. It's going to be too hard to do logistics.
Yeah.
Because life's too hard. And they were playing in New York and in Atlanta. And I didn't know what to do. And I thought, I could drive to Atlanta.
Oh.
I had that much faith in myself.
I'm surprised you didn't do New York just because you have family and friends in New York.
Yeah, but, Atlanta.
Yeah, hot Atlanta.
Fox Theater. Never been.
Oh, is it nice?
Beautiful. Oh, gorgeous. Like the Tampa Theater.
Oh, I like the Tampa Theater.
Very old theater classic. Very beautiful, ornamental. I believe the ceiling was really cool too, if I remember correctly. Was that place? I've seen some things this year. I think it was like a starry sky. It was.
Oh, that's a lot like Tampa Theater.
Yeah, and it was blue and it had stars. And when Amy Poehler and Tina Fey came out, Amy said, Tina, I don't want to tell people you're a Disney adult, but what do you think? What did you say you thought the ceiling looked like? She said, it looks just like Epcot.
I thought she was going to say Aladdin. Did you see the play Aladdin? They kind of had
No, but maybe that's what.
Maybe
that's what she said. I forget things sometimes, but she did say it reminded her of something in Epcot. But Tina Fey being a Disney adult blew my mind.
I could see it, especially since she's got, their children are kind of grown now, but yeah, especially since she had children. And, part of the whole NBC Universal, they probably didn't pay like their $135. They probably had like backstage,
$135. When did you go? It's way more than that now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, wow.
And, the fries are done.
And that's real time. That's actually one of our listeners, Mary Lysaght. And
Mary Lysaght. You are texting me right now. Oh my God, this is like a correspondent.
It is. And we have Mary Lysaght, our correspondent from the field. We're going to throw to Mary. Oh, no, technical difficulties.
No, I'm going to read you her text. And Mary, I hope you'll forgive me. And I might ask your permission to do this when I talk to you before I release it, or I might not. But I'm going to share with you, share with the folks.
To our tens of listeners.
Yep. Not that part. Nope, not that part. Not that part. We keep going.
Well, it sounds like she's a little dirty in that text message.
This is a picture of Mary Lysaght's tree.
Kitty.
Her cat, Karma, is in the picture. So we've lost Robin.
Beautiful.
That's Karma.
Oh, it does look like that she...
Has a body?
Yeah, she said something about the cat not killing who was ever in the body bag. But I don't know. I mean, it's a cat. It could go either way.
It could.
She's beautiful. Oh,
guys,
you've got orange
Robin looking at a cat
and white. Oh, you're beautiful.
That's Karma.
Oh, Karma, or is it like caramel or karma? Like karma chameleon?
And I always forget if it's with a C or a K. I think it's with a C, right, Mia? I forget. I'm sorry. I have short-term memory loss.
Karma.
And she wrote, the Christmas tree literally attacked me. One of the branch hinges closed on the palm of my hand and took a little chunk of skin. Man, that's not good. That's not good.
But is the cat okay?
Robin wants to know if the cat's okay. Jesus Christ.
I like me a good cat. Those orange cats. How can you go wrong with an orange cat?
Oh, my God.
It's like a little dreamsicle because it's part orange, part vanilla. All tasty.
Are you eating the cat?
Nah, I'm just admiring the cat. What the cat is, it's like throwback to old school Bucks before they became the fancy pewter and red when they were the old orange. That cat is old school Bucks fan. That's what that cat is.
I don't care. Mary is saying that she's going to make coffee and listen to our latest podcast. Thank you, Mia. You're the best, Mary Lysaght.
Well, Mary Lysaght in 3 weeks. Wait, and your text is going to appear on it.
Because I'm getting this text from her on December 1st, and this is coming out on what, January 92nd? I'm kidding. This is the December 21st episode. And
That's
this is our
right.
22nd.
Because we had
show.
that whole who's on first with 21st and 22nd. And
Oh my God, who's on first?
who's on first?
What's on second?
I don't know who's on third base.
We'll do that bit one day for you guys. Did you guys see our t-shirts? For the listeners, sorry about your luck, but for the folks who are watching, we're going to stand up right now and try not to break our headphone wires.
Oh, we're standing up for this? Okay. You have the TGS Tracy Jordan show, which goes into our Tina Fey episode. And I have a picture of all the people.
All the people, Jack, Jenna, Tina, well, Liz, Jack, and Tracy. Nope, that's 2 Jacks. Kenneth, I said Jack.
But his real name's Jack, isn't it?
Yeah, it's confusing.
Yeah.
I did real names and fake names interchanging. Yeah. There, I lost my mind a little bit. And fun fact, TGS stands for the girly show.
Yeah, I did. I probably watched that show years before I realized it was TGS, because I was like, it wouldn't be Tracy Jordan, because I know he kind of hijacked the show, so they wouldn't have put his name in there. The girly show. Oh, that's so smart.
Yeah, and I didn't go back and watch the first few episodes and know that for years either. I'm like, what are they talking about? I wonder what that stands for. Is it supposed to be like an SNL thing that I don't understand? And then I watched it and I was like, oh, why didn't I just watch the first episode? It would have answered all my questions.
But I think they still tried to make it like SNL, because they always called it TGS. They never said the girly show.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was because the first episode's about how they hired Tracy Jordan and they canceled the girly show, and now it's called TGS with Tracy Jordan.
Yeah.
Because the girly show wasn't doing well. Because it was a lot of girls.
A lot of girls. Who finds that funny? Ugh.
Me.
Me too. Oh, gosh.
So I have the books. I have Amy Poehler's book and I have Tina Fey's book. I've bought several versions of these books through the years, and I keep giving them away. So these are the latest versions that I got on Thrift Books, commercial for Thrift Books. Oh. It's a great place to buy books cheap. You get on the list and then it says, hey, that book you wanted is here and it's $3. Do you want it? It's in okay shape. There's not a lot of urine on it.
I mean, there's books. Always some urine, but not a lot.
What, will you have books with no urine?
I've never heard of that before. I will. I'm not going to use the old-timey voice because that was last episode, but I will definitely do that. It's called Thrift Books.
Thrift Books, and it's a great website, and you can get really great discounts on books. I really enjoy space, and I like the ladies. And a friend of mine, Kent Perry, suggested that I buy the series about the women astronauts. I said, women astronauts? And it's called The Calculating Stars.
Well, then who's going to do the ironing? Can't put all the ladies in the space. Well, who's going to make our breakfast? Come on. So silly.
Oh. So it's called The Calculating Stars, The Faded Sky, Relentless Moon, and the author is too far away for me to read. But they're really good books that I'm going to really love and enjoy. I know they're good because I trust the friend who recommended them. He's a good man, Kent Perry.
I like Kent Perry. But on the Restless Moon... the
Relentless Moon.
I'm sorry, I keep hitting the thing. On the Relentless Moon, the sticker's covering up the OON. So I just saw the Relentless Mo, and I thought it was the Relentless Missouri. So I got all confused.
That's quite a space tale.
It is. It is.
Oh, you are landlocked.
I am landlocked.
That's a place with no boats.
Yeah, there's rivers. But I digress. Because you got the Mississippi, you got the Mighty Mo. Yeah. Oh, the Mighty Mo is actually relentless. So that could be about the Missouri River, really.
I could make so many gay jokes right now, but I'm leaving them on the table. Because I'm gay. And breaking news, we have more cat pictures. Because Robin likes to see pictures of cats. Mary Lysaght, you made Robin's day.
Oh, so sleepy. You're so sleepy. You're so sleepy.
Oh, my God.
And she's got her little paw crunched up. She's doing a pike dive. Not only she's sleeping in pike position. Not every cat can do that. This is a special cat.
Oh, like Michael Phelps you're talking about? Pike dive?
No, Michael Phelps isn't a diver. Greg Louganis. It's a Greg Louganis cat. Michael Phelps just swims.
I try to make a sports joke. You see what happens?
Yeah.
Mary, thank you for sharing. You made Robin very happy. And Karma, get some rest. You gotta take it easy. He's not dead, just relaxing.
Oh, Karma's a boy?
Yes. Karma's a boy.
Think.
It's not the song.
No, but
Karma is a boy. That's not how that goes.
no, there's something with orange cats. Either most orange cats are male or most orange cats are female.
That's racist.
I think most orange cats are male because I was like, that's rare to have an orange female, but I think it's rare to have an orange. No, he's a male.
He's a male.
I think most orange cats are male, so I'll just leave it at that. Full thing called biology and science facts, guys.
Karma's pronouns are adorable and cute. I don't know.
Karma's pronouns are like, hey, kitty, 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 kitty.
I lost 3 listeners from that comment. That halved our pool.
We only have 7, for God's sake.
We do. We have 7 followers. Maybe it's 10 by the time this comes out. Okay, episode 22, we're going to talk about Christmas and how we feel today about Christmas and has our view changed and do we have any plans? And I know you have a work party story.
Okay.
We'll see if we get to any of that.
Okay. Well,
Our time is up.
I'll let you go first because I kind of want to lament on. I feel like I could say stuff that's kind of semi-sad, but we don't want to go there.
We don't want to go to sad? Mm-mm. Hi, my name's Mary Tischbein. Apparently we haven't met. Are you worried you're going to make me sad? Or the listeners?
Yeah, I'm worried I'm going to dredge up some sad things.
It's going to be funny, though.
Yeah, sure. But Hugo, what does Christmas mean to you?
Oh, it means so many things. It's the birth of Jesus, don't you know? Why am I Irish now?
No, you sounded like you were from Minnesota.
Oh. Hey, you know what? We didn't drink for this one.
No, we didn't.
There's no drinking. This is us sober, and these are the kind. Yeah, that was my Minnesota.
Yeah, that was
Paul
Minnesota.
is sleeping.
Paul is sleeping, don't you know?
Don't you know?
Don't you know?
It's a big one. My Christmases are varied and very different, and they go from extravagant, dreamlike state of abundance to I remember when I was a kid, I heard tale of folks who did not celebrate Christmas because they were a different religion, and they would get Chinese food and go to the movies.
Ah, that sounds great.
And I thought, oh, that sounds great. Let's do that.
Yeah.
But that wasn't until I was older did I think that was a great idea, because I always enjoyed Christmas and it meant everything to me. It was food and family and fun, and it was just, we got so much stuff. You couldn't see the floor when we were kids.
That's because you had a big family.
Big family. And even later. And it wasn't like anything was super expensive. It was a lot of stuff. I know my mom would tell me tales of how she would wrap up Scotch tape as a gift. And I'm like, well, that must have been with the older kids because I got good shit. I remember one time I looked in a bag on the stairs when I was a kid, probably 12 or 13. And I looked in the bag and it was a softball mitts for me and Moggy. And I was like, oh, this is great. And I'm like, how did I not know this softball girl was going to turn out to be a lesbian? Shocker. Anyway, I should have known. But Christmas had so much music, my God, for years. And I do remember some melancholy moments growing up when the lights would all be on and the music would be playing. And my dad would be sitting there with all the lights off except the Christmas tree. And he'd be smoking a cigarette and drinking. And I'd be like, that guy looks like he's having a good time. Should we call someone? But it was a peaceful moment for him, and he was reviewing memories and just relaxing.
Oh, he might have just been enjoying like the family. He seemed like, just from your stories of him, he seemed like a good man. So maybe he was just reveling in, my family's all at home. It's Christmas time. I just want to have me a little belt of the old whiskey and a little smokesies.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was whiskey. I can't remember. I feel like they were vodka drinkers. But there was a lot of stuff in the house all times because we had a bar in the basement because we were good Americans, and that's what you did. But a lot of really good times with eating and presents and songs and everybody being there and making home movies.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And it was usually snowy if you were lucky.
Yeah.
And just fun. And then when Jason was born, we had a little kid around, which was great.
Oh.
You know, and then people started dying. I was like, fuck Christmas. So I had a little trouble then for a while. And then I was married. So, I got to create my own Christmas. And Bob and I had a lot of fun Christmases. We had great trees. We had a lot of fun. real trees. And then I moved in with my mom and we had trees. And then she said, when I was alone here before you moved down and all the kids would have their own stuff going on, nobody came down, I go out with my friends for Chinese food and a movie. And I said, are you Jewish now? And she said, no, still Catholic. But I'm enjoying that particular thing because no one has to make dinner for anybody. We can all just go and have a fun afternoon.
And Chinese food is delicious.
It's fantastic. So I thought, that's cool. I kind of want to do that. And I've had a slew of weird Christmases. Some were sad and lonely, and some were alone and great. And some were visiting people at different times and places, different family, different houses. Moggy kills Christmas. She does so much. She does the tree, the decorating, the cooking, everything. Christmas at Moggy's house is a blast.
She's a big Christmas lady.
She is, and they have a lot of decorations and the lights on the house, and it's a lot of fun to go up there for Christmas. I'm just on my own now and enjoying that. And I do pull out my grandmother's ceramic Christmas tree with the little lights on it.
Oh, okay. I don't know that I've been here. I probably have. I just don't remember you having like a Christmas decoration per se.
No, I used to put up like a old cardboard sign that was the Snoopy and Charlie Brown bunch in a Christmas thing. I would hang that up, and I'd be like, here it is. Here's my Christmas decoration. And then at work we'd have parties, and I bought one of those garden hose reels of like 100 feet of lights, and we'd put it around the library when I worked over there.
Oh, yeah.
And then I took it home and I keep it in the closet because that's a lot of electricity. So
it's a lot of lights.
Yeah, Christmas is weird for me now. I didn't mean to go dark, but why don't you tell your sad story and bring the people up?
Well, when I was young living in Missouri, probably the first 10 years, Christmas was, we would have my immediate family, my mother, my brother, and me on Christmas morning. We would like have our Christmas. But prior to that, Christmas Eve, it would always be about the extended family. So on Christmas Eve, we would go to my grandmother's house, and then my aunt and uncle and my cousins would be there. And then the next morning, like we'd pop up and then just do our Christmas. Sometimes I think we might have had a dinner with everyone. I can't remember. But it was always, Christmas Eve was the big family. Christmas was the smaller family. And we did that until we were about 10. Here comes the sad part.
Oh, great.
No, then my parents got divorced. And it was a little bit harder because then you'd have to either just be with one particular parent or the other. And let me just say, my parents had a phenomenal divorce. Like they had a better divorce than they had a marriage. My parents were like Bruce and Demi prior to Bruce and Demi.
Oh, wow.
But as a kid, I still felt bad that like I was spending with one parent and not the other parent.
Yeah.
Like really bad. So I kind of in my 20s decided like I wasn't really ever going to celebrate Christmas until I had a family of my own. So like when I lived in Kansas City proper, I would say that I didn't really ever put up Christmas. Like when I just lived on my own, I didn't ever really put up Christmas. Like I went to my parents' house, whichever one I was celebrating, and I still brought presents and, the holiday cheer.
No tree when you lived alone?
No. And it wasn't until like later on when like I, had a relationship and then later kids that I would celebrate Christmas. But there for a while, I don't want to say I boycotted it. I was just like,
yeah, you did.
I don't think I'm going to really put much emphasis until I have my own family. And then when I have my own family, I hope they had really good Christmas memories.
I'm sure they do.
But we did the same thing. It was always the morning. We were like more morning Christmas people.
Yeah.
And then we would eat. And then as the time's gone on, now my mother comes for 2 months. She comes for all of December and all of January. So it's kind of the same thing. We'll get up in the morning, we'll celebrate with the kids, and then we'll go to my mom's for dinner. So it all kind of came full circle. So
I love that. But don't have any guilt or shame about boycotting Christmas when you're alone, because what are you going to make a mess and then have to clean it up? For who? For yourself? If you're not having a party or people over at some point during the holidays, like an open house, which was a dream I used to have, then, I'll have an open house and everybody will come. What? I'm not doing that. I'm not spending $1,000 on alcohol to people dirtying my floor. Yeah. I'm such a bitch.
Use a Costa. Oh
my God, right? Look, I would have done it prior to the OCD blooming.
Yes.
maybe, but I don't think no.
I have some very good Christmas memories, and this kind of goes into another topic we were going to bring up. But when I got to be older, kind of after my parents got divorced, and I was sort of my best friend in high school, I kind of adopted her whole family. So I would often, more of the teenage years and stuff, I would go to her house for Christmas Eve. And this is sort of when my family was sort of dissipated at this point. And they would always like play games. It would always just be the best games. And they would play,
awesome.
I don't know, like bingo for prizes, and everything was for prizes, but they were silly prizes. Like they were, scratchers, or I don't know, like... And they've continued the tradition. So a few years ago, it was in 2019, I took my kids back to Missouri, and they did the whole thing, except they did it after Christmas. So it wasn't Christmas Eve because we didn't get there. So we did like bingo for prizes, and they had so many silly games, like the game where you take the bubble wrap and you put stuff up. And at that time, my kids weren't old enough to, like, if they had a scratcher, I would have had to, go exchange it for them, because they were only maybe 15 and 13 or something.
But they got excited if they got one, didn't they?
It was fun. And then Tina's mom never had like booze a part of it, because that just wasn't how they were, but her sister did. So like some of their things were like baby bottles of vodka, and I'd be like, oh, I'll exchange that with, whatever, like this Snickers bar I got or something. But it was really fun.
That's awesome. And that did remind me that in the last decade or so or more, I've been honored to be a part of the Barb and Sarah and Tommy Christmas.
Oh.
My friend Sarah's mom, Barb, who's my friend as well, she does a fun Christmas thing where she does a thing with the bubble wrap, and we do Santa. I don't know if it's, what do you call it? Dirty Santa? White elephant?
Oh, white elephant, yeah.
We do that, and it's super fun. And the cellophane thing I did for the first time the last couple of years with them, and oh my God, that's so much fun.
Yeah.
And there's so much opportunity for humor. So I kill at these parties.
Yeah.
But then they pull out a card game, and my brain shuts off as they explain the rules, and I black out. And then I come to, and they're like, yeah, it's enough explaining. You'll get it as we go. You'll pick it up as we go. I won't. But it'll be funny. And then I'll feel really stupid. But I have a lot of laughs and have a really good time. And I called it the Adopt a Comic program because they took me in.
That's awesome.
Thank you. And yeah, I had many, many great Christmas and Easter memories with Barb and Sarah and Tommy and the girls.
Yeah. Well, just here recently, because I guess we've already revealed that we're on Thanksgiving weekend, even though you're not listening to it.
They don't know. They do now.
They do now, because I ruined it. But my son didn't spend Thanksgiving with me, and it wasn't like any sad thing. It wasn't anything sad. It was just because my house got ruined.
Are you still harping on that? I'm kidding. We're going to get back to that in a second. I'm not an asshole.
No.
I do want to talk about that.
Because normally I would have Thanksgiving, but I didn't. So our next door neighbors invited us over. And then my son was like, hey, do you mind if I dip and go to my friend's house? But I was also invited to his friend's house because I've known the whole family. Anyway, so I did both. I went to the neighbors, and then I wanted to spend some time with my son. And the friend's mother who invited me, she had this game where it was just words. So you have all these words, and then they ask you a question. I think it's called Ransom Note. They have all these words, and they ask you a question, and then you have to like come up with an answer. And my son's 20 now, so some people got a little bawdy and a little dirty. And of course, my son was one of them. And his friend, in all his words, his friend got the word wiener. So, of course, like he kind of won the round because it was always wiener. And then the very last round I played, like my son offered to give him the word saggy, and then he took wiener. Oh, and so, like, I
you're raising him right, Robin.
I'm raising him right. Either he had stuff to do with saggy, God knows what, or wiener, and it was never the ones that were sort of serious or nice. It was always the dirty ones that won in Ransom Note.
Well, isn't that true in life? Mm-hmm. It's the dirty ones that always win.
Yeah. So I had a very special time, and I don't think he would have. I don't think my son would have attempted the dirtier stuff had it just been like at my house or with my mother or, his relatives. But I think he felt a little bit more empowered because he was at his friend's house and they were all being dirty. And that was a part of it. But I don't think he would have ever done that if it would have just been under my roof. Not that I would have been upset with him, but I don't know. It was kind of fun.
I'm proud of him. That shows growth, though. I feel like that shows like a lot of growth. Quick question, not related. How have your children, as they have grown, dealt with your relationship with stand-up comedy?
I don't think I don't want to say I don't mean in a bad way. I don't think they care, but they just have their own life. And, they've always known that it was a part of it. And I was, for the longest time, really worried it would kind of mess them up. But I think it's just sort of, I think they treat stand-up comedy like some people treat their mother being a gardener, or some people treat their mom like being into calligraphy. Like that is what she does.
That's just something she does.
It's just something she does.
So it's not a positive or negative. It's just something that you do. They did you did it when they were little. So
I did it when they were little.
It's been their whole lives.
Yeah. I took a break when they were, I don't know, like middle school. But they weirdly tell people, like, I don't in the wild really offer it. But like
Did you say in the wild?
Yeah, I always say that. Like in the wild, I don't really offer it, but their friends and friends' parents always seem to know. So they do put it out there, but maybe it's because I'm not successful at it. They don't push the issue, but they don't hide it, or it doesn't embarrass them.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good. I like that. Okay, I was wondering about that.
Yeah.
We kind of got off of, we went on Christmas, which was great.
We did.
We did a little bit on games, but we kind of went away from Tina and Amy, but I think we should bring it back to Tina and Amy a little bit more. Do you remember the first time you saw Tina or Amy?
The first time I ever heard about Tina Fey, it was, don't get me wrong, I've always watched SNL, but there's varying degrees of where I paid a whole lot of attention to it. So I think in the 2000s, I wasn't paying that much attention. And then 9/11 happened, and that someone from CNN decided she wanted to be taken serious. So she started wearing glasses and had brown hair. And that was the whole thing. Because Tina Fey was like, oh, so glad like you can be taken serious now that you look like me. And I thought that was the funniest thing.
Wow.
And that kind of hooked me. And plus, I was, on 9/11, I was desperate. Like I turned on all the late night shows because I was desperate to not be sad. And they all cried. Letterman cried. Jay
the first
Leno,
episode after 9/11, it was a big deal.
Yeah, Jay Leno cried. And I mean, not that they're not allowed to be human, but I was like, this was going to be my release. And then I thought, I wonder what SNL did. And you know what? They did a pretty good job. They did as good as they could possibly do. Yeah. And so I think it was around then. And then that was the first year that Amy Poehler was on it. And I knew her from, gosh, what was she? She was on an MTV show, or maybe it's a VH1 show.
Amy Poehler was on an MTV or VH1 show?
Yeah. What was the thing that Upright Citizens Brigade for a while was a TV show?
Oh, she was on that?
Yeah. Well, she was one of the creators.
Right, which I knew about, but I didn't realize that was like a Oh, yeah, it was a television show.
For like a blip on or Comedy Central, maybe. It was for a blip on the map.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Just a little blip, but she brought her wreck character. And when I saw it was her, I was like, oh, I just ate it up with a spoon because I loved her. And I loved that she was so tiny and she looked like a little kid, but she was just had this moxie of like a 800-pound man. Yeah. And she was, I've always been a Conan O'Brien fan.
Yeah.
And she played Andy's girlfriend. It was like a bit that they would do. Andy's little sister. And she loved Conan, but because she was so little, she looked like a 13. They always put a brace thing.
Night guard.
Yeah. And they'd be like, oh, Andy, I think your sister's in the audience. And then this teeny little Amy Poehler would come up with the little brace things, hooked up to her mouth. And she'd be like, Andy, roll her eyes, and then she'd be like, Conan, I love you so much. I love you, Conan. I love Amy. Well, how about you? When was your first introduction?
Well, that's fantastic, and that reminds me of the time when I was starting comedy, and I introduced you at the coffee shop at Barney's, where we were going to do a comedy show with the people I took the class with, and I introduced you to Rick, and you went, Rick, Rick, Rick. And I was like, the fuck is she? Did she ever get a stroke? Because I don't remember any of that and didn't watch any of that in those years. That's when I was deep in the am I gay search on the media. So SNL was not something I watched. I ignored it for a big chunk. Big chunk. Like missed a lot of the years. Had no idea who any of them were. And then I saw some clips somewhere of Weekend Update and thought, who's this? Who's this brunette? Oh, who's this blonde? What's happening? What's going on here? So I think I was introduced to both of them through SNL, but only on Weekend Update after they had gone. And
okay.
And then I fell upon 30 Rock accidentally when it was still on at some point, probably season 3 or season 4. And I kept seeing articles about the show that no one is watching that's so great. And I was like, oh, like the greatest show no one's watching.
Yeah.
That was 30 Rock.
Yeah.
And they had shit ratings, but they won all the awards. And I kept thinking, I love award shows. This show seems to be a big deal. Let me check it out. So then I got into 30 Rock and thought, oh, there's my haircut. And I was like, I wish I could wear glasses. And then I was in my 40s. I'm like, you can get glasses if you want because your eyes are fucked. I'm like, score. So then I got glasses. And I remember when I met Gina at the library and I said, I'm kind of going for a Liz Lemon look. And she's like, oh, I can see that.
Yeah.
So that my way of finding Amy and Tina was a little late.
Yeah.
But then I was all in.
Yeah.
And then I never stopped worshiping at the altar.
The thing that really inspired me about 30 Rock is because they were always one foot out the door. They never had the network backing them. Even when they were winning awards, they were always like, you guys, this is probably going to be our last season. So they did absolutely everything they wanted to do because they had we've got absolutely nothing to lose. Let's make it funny for us. And it kept them afloat.
Yeah.
And it got them a niche market. And that's kind of this, if you follow Conan O'Brien also, that's kind of his whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like they never really particularly cared for them, especially in the beginning. Yeah. They never really particularly cared for them. They kind of always dangled their job. And so they were just sort of like, you know what, if we're going to go down, we're going to go down on our terms. And I think that's marvelous because it makes you just do what you want to do.
That's how the audience finds you. Mm-hmm. And I love that about 30 Rock because when you watch the show back and it's like, well, I guess it's season 3. And like they literally say it on the show. Yeah. Here we go with season 4. And they like go to a restaurant called like season 5 on the premium. Like they're like, can't believe it either. That was still here. Look at this. And I loved it. And it was great. It was a great show. And then Parks and Rec. Was fantastic.
Yeah, I think Parks and Rec
Leslie Knope
was sort of the anti 30 Rock because Parks and Rec, as silly as it is, it had like all the heart in the world. Like it had the heart of like the old school sitcom, even though it wasn't structured there wasn't like canned laughter and like, oh, I just fell over. Oh, this is a misunderstanding. Like it had the heart and it had a lesson and a moral to it, where 30 Rock was just like throw it against the wall and see what sticks. Yeah. I think Parks and Rec had a little bit more of a heart, and that might have been Mike Schur, the director.
Yeah. And who knew that Parks people and library people hated each other? That was one of my favorite things about it. And like, oh my God, Megan Mullally, what's happening? And I worked for a library at that time, and I was like, hey, I see your point. So that was fun that happened. That was the only time Amy Poehler's character Leslie Knope got mad. It was like, the library.
And it was so funny because at the time that seemed like, who in the world would ever vilify a library? And then here we are, like
different reason though.
Different reason,
but it also brought us, if I may, Aubrey Plaza.
Yes,
and unfortunately Chris Pratt.
I think we went through this on another episode.
I think we both love Andy.
I was going to say we couldn't remember the name Andy Dwyer. I love Andy Dwyer, but
he's the best.
Yeah.
Then the best improv line, you've probably heard this a few times now. The best, Mike Schur, the guy who put the show together, I think it was Mike Schur, he says the best comedy line in the whole show was an improvised line when Leslie Knope's character had the flu. Yeah. And Chris Pratt, Andy Dwyer's character, is looking at a computer and he says, Leslie, I looked up your symptoms on Google and it says you have connectivity issues. Something like that. Yeah. But they are I don't know, everything I want to be. And when I saw them live and they did all these different things, they sang, they danced. They did a version of For Good from Wicked with lyrics about each other.
Wow.
And I don't remember what it is anymore. But I'm still waiting for them to release a copy of this show. They've got to release the Restless Lake tour on a video of some sort.
I hope
Somebody
they
had to film it.
do it again. I mean, I don't know if they will or they necessarily. It's not like they need the money. They necessarily have to.
I mean, they did improv. They did stand-up, and neither one of them was stand-up, so
Yeah.
it was great to see. They did a thing where they sit in their pajamas and drink tea, and they're reading questions out of bowls, and then they're reading questions that people sent to them. It was a very, very wonderful show. It was over 2 hours. It was church. These things are church for me.
Yeah,
They really
absolutely.
are. And next time they come around, I will be patient, and you and I will go together.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I hope they do it again, but yeah, that's just, yeah. I mean, not only, I mean, they have such a community of people around them. You know, they've got Maya Rudolph and Anna Gasteyer and Rachel Dratch. And even the smaller names that a lot of people don't know, like Liz Kerkowski, she was a writer. She's married to one of the guys from Lonely Island.
Oh, wow.
Who was the other one? Emily
Spivey.
Spivey. She may not be well, Paula Pell wasn't known, but boy, howdy, she's getting to be really well known the last couple of
As
years.
she should be.
Oh, brilliant.
Paula
Absolutely
Pell and
brilliant.
Emily Spivey? Mm-hmm. My God.
Yeah.
In another universe,
Yeah.
I want to be either one of them.
Yeah.
Just, oh my God. In the writer's room, just writing the shit. It's fantastic. And if you watched 30 Rock and Kimmy Schmidt and anything else that Tina Fey did, I think it was something called Good News for a while.
Oh,
She
Good
did
News
something.
was, yeah, I watched that sometimes on Netflix. That was pretty good.
And then Girls Five Eva,
Oh, Girls Five.
which is
so
Meredith
good.
Scardino, one of my other Jesuses. You will notice that sometimes the jokes come back. I'm like, I remember when they did that on 30 Rock. I remember
Yeah.
when they did that on Kimmy Schmidt. That's okay.
Yeah.
I don't mind.
Well, and Mike Shore, and I love Mike Shore, but there's a lot of
Some overlap.
Some overlap
Yeah.
with even Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I feel like the character Amy on Brooklyn Nine-Nine is kind of like Leslie Knope, and who's also kind of like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of. I guess he
Oh, The
didn't.
Good Place? No.
Yeah, no, not really. But there's some overlap. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But you know,
They're great shows.
Mm-hmm.
And they're great creators, and may they continue to create. And you know, you guys, if you don't have the books, pick them up, get a little taste of what these ladies are about. They're very funny,
Yeah.
whether they are performing or writing or just being interviewed on La Culturistas.
Las Culturistas.
Have
Yeah,
they had Amy Poehler on there?
they haven't had Amy. They've had Tina on there.
That's an episode.
That's
she
a-
drops the C word. It's fantastic.
And she drops wisdom on there. She, you know,
Oh yeah, she told him.
yeah, she told him a lot. And the thing I like about both of these guys is when you hear them on an interview, they're not trying to be funny. They're not like, you know, they're not on. Like, they're just being who they are, which is just a naturally, like, funny person. So,
Which, if I may, you and I are also. Just saying. Hey, Robin Savage.
yes.
Do you have any Christmas wishes that you want to wish the people while we're on that? And then we'll do our segments that didn't make it as segments.
I want to wish the people the merriest of Christmas. I want to wish you a happy times either with your family or your chosen family. And I want to wish lots of delicious snacks or meals or whatever it is that you eat.
I'm gonna ditto that, and also add we want to throw happy holidays in there for the folks who don't celebrate the birth of Jesus, because it was just kind of a tree thing with some witches. But we're Christmas.
We're going to smooth over that. Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever you celebrate.
Whatever you celebrate,
If it's I don't know, if it's one of the well-known ones or
one you made up, or one you got from a sitcom,
just one of the offbeat
Festivus,
Festivus, yeah. So,
yeah, Chinese food and a movie.
that sounds so delicious right
Doesn't
now. It does.
But we really do wish that you guys would have a great holiday season with the people of your choice.
Okay, that sounds
And
great.
How about a segment that didn't make it as segments?
Okay, my first segment that didn't make it as a segment is, was Velveeta named after one of Santa's reindeers? Stupid.
That's cheesy.
That is cheesy.
Thank you for letting me say that. Okay, I got one. Liz Lemon, Leslie Knope, Jenna Maroney, fuck, marry, kill.
Oh.
Don't answer.
Okay.
What's your next segment?
I was going.
Come on.
I'm just
I
saying.
think you all know my answer to that.
Gina Maroney wouldn't be alive.
Aw.
No, I mean I wouldn't want to.
Oh, I don't even know what my answers would be. I would probably not do it right.
My segment that didn't make it as a segment is has Amy ever ridden on the Polar Express?
Ooh, that's that was good. Okay, you ready? Mm-hmm. Was Kenneth Parcell a ghost?
Oh, I don't think he was a ghost. I think he was an. Oh, can we say it because it wasn't a segment?
Yeah.
I think he was an omnipotent being. I don't think he was a ghost. I think he was.
Oh, like on the show Lost, like he was timeless.
Yeah, I think he was timeless. I don't think he was God, but I think he was godlike.
Yeah, because he didn't age.
He didn't age, and he was wise, and he kind of suffered for the art form that is TV, and then he eventually became the ruler of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was amazing.
So maybe he was like maybe not a ghost. Maybe he was like an angel, like Clarence from It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, but he was of godliness.
And he just,
He's
what
a
a
silly Billy.
great actor.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he's like that in real life. I hope. Oh my God. He was one of the people who came out in, is he the one I saw? Wow, this is horrifying. Was he at my show? I think
On the
he was
Restless Lake tour?
I think he was at mine. Yeah, he was at mine.
Oh, they brought
Wow.
probably he's a Southern boy, so
Yeah.
he might have just been in the neighborhood.
He was there. That's right. Because I remember it was awesome. Because they also had Maya Rudolph and Rachel Dratch at different ones, not mine. So different people would show
I almost
up.
fainted.
Oh yeah, because they did a weekend update segment, and it was topical, like for that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very special.
That's just brilliant. They're so brilliant.
We've gone overtime.
We have. Oh, we really have.
We really have. Hey, have a Merry Christmas. If you put Tina and Amy's names in the holiday, you can find them in Christmas. Mm-hmm. Nope, there's no N. I'm lying,
guys.
Hey, Merry, everybody.
And happy holidays.
Thank you for joining us on the 22nd episode of Scooch Ovaries! Scooch over.
Hey, can you scooch over?
You want me to scooch over?
Just a little bit. Scooch.
Scooch?
Scooch.
Scooch. Scooch Ovaries!